Well, I know you want me to get into those details, and you should feel very comforted that our excellent Department of Treasury is working on every potential contingency plan. But right now, our focus is on avoiding those types of situations, because all of them, to be honest, are unthinkable. And there's no reason that we should get there. We have a lot of common ground right now, and what we need is to take our eye away from the focus on whether or not the House bill passes, because it's going to be dead or on arrival in the Senate either way, and start figuring out what kind of compromise we can get in this next day or two that can help our country have a down payment on deficit reduction, set up a framework for us to come back and do more serious entitlement and tax reform to put us on a more stable fiscal path, and to put the threat of default off our economy well into 2013. The last thing we need is some deal that simply pushes the threat of default to Christmas time and keeps the cloud of uncertainty hanging over our economy at this critical point in our recovery.
Minority Leader Mitch McConnell on the floor today, though, said of the Boehner deal, tell me what is so wrong with it if you're comparing that to default, if those are the options that President Obama is presented with.
Well, I think the right question is, we have divided government right now. What is so wrong with the leaders on all sides coming together and saying we can reach common ground, even though we're divided? Now, you know, a lot of the Senate Republicans will remember that in 2003, they extended the debt limit for over 17 months, pushed it past an election, didn't create the type of uncertainty that a debt limit, a short-term debt limit might have. But consider now we face a situation where we've had a significant number of people actually use the threat of default as a way of getting what they want on the budget. And to go through this whole situation and then to return in December at Christmas time and again to have the specter of default hanging over our economy is just not a sound thing to do. And it's not what any of the leaders had called for initially. Leader McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, had called for a plan that would extend the debt for over 2 years. Majority Leader Eric Cantor of the Republican side, Speaker Boehner, had all said our aim should be to extend the debt for over into 2013. Why? Because when they recognized, as the president does, that to do something different would again leave uncertainty for investors, for job creators, for average Americans. It's not what we need right now.
All right, Gene, I've got to jump in.
Easy to get to common ground.
Thanks, Gene. I've got to jump in here because on Monday night, the president effectively took a step back, told Congress to figure it out. But if they can't figure it out, at what point does he take a leadership role, step in, and try to get something done himself?
The president has taken a leadership role from the start. It was the president who put together each of the bipartisan negotiating processes that made progress. The Biden group, in which Majority Leader Eric Cantor on the Republican side participated, 2 negotiating processes with Speaker Boehner. All 3 were very close to a deal. All 3 times, unfortunately, the Republican leadership walked away from the table. The president has made very clear at each and every moment that he will be at the center of bringing everyone together, and he is the one who has been repeatedly
Gene
willing
Sperling,
to
forgive me for interrupting. There's so much to talk about. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure we'll speak again very soon. This